Blazers, they had a mega workout. Mega workout for the Portland Trailblazers.
Just wrapped up. The Portland Trailblazers had a 3-on-3 workout, as reported by Jonathan Wasserman. I can confirm that it did happen. That it featured Eve Missy, Ryan Dunn, Tidjane Salaun, Ron Holland.
Wait, Ryan Dunn from Jackass?
Yeah, super dead.
R.I.P.
Very dead. Very dead.
Ron Holland and Keyshawn George. Am I forgetting anybody? I think I just got those all 6 right.
I think that's it. Yep.
But you had a
Holland,
lot of
Salaun,
Zach
Dunn,
Edey.
Missy, George.
All guys that are, with the exception of Dunn, who is slated as high as 24, as far back as 42.
Okay.
It's kind of a wider range. He's kind of looked at as a very early second, late first kind of situation. Everybody else is a first-round pick, with Missy coming in average rating of 23rd. So
okay.
I put up on my Twitter account, I have a running chart of everybody I know that I have confirmed that has come in the building and worked out for the Trailblazers this year. That includes the ones that have not been reported. The unreported workouts consist of Donovan Clingan, who ESPN did say that Clingan had come and worked out. He had not worked out at that point in time yet. ESPN had the date wrong. So he just came through. Last week, also, G League Ignite's Modest Buzelis and Colorado's Cody Williams came through.
Okay, so what does this list look like now? Blazers sit 7 and 14, and look, there is a list in it. What has 34 guys on it?
I think so. Yeah.
You got a list of 34 guys that have come through for workouts so far for the Portland Trail,
and more are coming.
By the way, they don't just have 7 and 14; they have
34 and 40.
Yes, 2 second-round picks as well. How many of them are we looking at for guys that have come through that have been in that top 7? And then what are we looking at for that 14 pick? Because those are the ones that people truly care about, is what you're getting at 7 and what you're getting at 14.
So the guys that you could feasibly see taken at 14, the cutoff line is probably Edey. His highest pick is 15. His average draft position is 19.6, so inside the top 20. After that, Khalil Ware, who's at 19.4. Keyshawn George from Miami, who's at 17.8. Jared McCain, who is just on the outside of lottery at 15.4. And then the next couple of guys are all 11 or shorter. Ron Holland is a guy that I've heard is falling out of the top 10. That continues to sound like what is a very strong possibility.
Measurements were off at the combine. He is a slender build. G League Ignite was an absolute dumpster fire this year.
And there's been a lot of, what does he do that gets him on the floor? And is he willing to accept a lesser role as a role player where he doesn't have a near 30% usage?
Well, because he doesn't flash any of the star qualities. No. Again,
still very young.
18 years old. Yeah. He's a young player, but doesn't have those flashes of star quality player as of right now.
But Holland's at 10.6 in average draft position. Tidjane Salaun, who was in today with Ron Holland, is at 10.2. That's skewed, I think, a big part because No Ceilings has him at 19. They do their mock draft is a consensus mock draft. They've got probably like 10 guys, so it can bump some guys up, down, and around. I know guys over at No Ceilings that have Salaun very high, and I know guys over there that have him a lot lower. There's that, but that's kind of how Salaun is viewed. He's a guy that I mocked as high as 4, but I've also seen him at 19, 20. So interesting spot for him. Cody Williams, who is dead smack at 10, which is perfect because he's not making it past 10 as far as I know. Utah is very much locked in on Cody Williams. If you look at who they've drafted, how they've drafted, the players they've acquired over the years, Walker Kessler, Lauri Markkanen, Taylor Hendricks, Keontae George, like they are prioritizing size across the board of their positions. And so Cody Williams, 6'8", very good athlete, not insane level athlete, but plus athlete with that's very slithery, finished 75% of his shots at the rim, shot 50 or 40% from 3, even on limited volume. But he's a guy that I know that if he's there at 10, the Jazz will very strongly consider. Then you get into Dalton Connect, who's at a 9.2 average draft position, Modest Buzelis at 7.4, and Donovan Clingan at 4.8.
Donovan Clingan, probably the biggest name that they have.
He's the highest rated prospect that they have brought in.
He won't be there at 7.
I think he will.
You think he's going to be there at 7?
I think
you think he's going to be at 7?
I think unless somebody trades up to get him, I think Portland is going to have to make a decision there. But I would be surprised if Sarr or Reza Shea get into Portland. I wouldn't be shocked if Reed Shepherd came through Portland, even though I don't think the Blazers are looking at guards. I know Reed Shepherd has worked out for teams past Portland. So take that for what it's worth.
I don't want a guard.
No, but I mean, do your due diligence.
Yeah.
Because
Kick the tires.
Not only that, this is how you like. They have a book on every player. If you get a guy in your building, you can get a better read on guys.
Yes, and if you are of the guys that have come through of the 34, if you're looking at which positions the Blazers have prioritized to this point, and by the way, this is to this point who has come through Portland and worked out. There will be workouts continuing down the line.
They've brought in one guard in the top 25
Yeah,
picks.
there's been one guard, and it's Jared McCain, the Duke guard. He's a mid-first-round pick, which would lead you to believe that they're kicking the tires on 14 if he's there.
He might be the best shooter in the draft.
So you bring in the best shooter in the draft. If you want to go down any other of the positions, you have big, forward, wing, forward, wing, big, wing.
Yeah, you literally look at that, and there's a group of bigs that are all kind of clumped together.
So that is where Portland is looking at. And that also, look, if you're bringing that many bigs right now, we've talked about this at length, that, all right, if you draft a big, you are drafting him to be a backup to DeAndre Ayton right now.
Yes.
Which means that Duop Reith and Robert Williams are still on the roster. Movement will be happening on this Portland roster.
Movement's going to happen no matter what.
If you go wing and forward, positions of need, that's not really all that telling of where Portland may go this offseason. But right now, if you look at how many bigs that they've brought in, we know this. They need help at the 4 dramatically. They need help at the 3
wing.
dramatically. They need help
their front court
in a lot of places, but those are the 2 priorities that you're looking at.
The
right
guys
there,
they're
3 and
dedicated
4.
to going forward right now are Scoot and Shaden. Like if you're talking about like the timelines and how things line up, I would be surprised if they went and addressed something outside of a 3, 4, or 5, because you want to get the foundational building blocks that are around the same age. They don't have to be, but look at how the Celtics are built. Look at how the Thunder are built. Like, just take a look around the league, and when you start with guys that are young, which the Jays were in Tatum and Brown at one point in time, you get pieces that make sense around them going forward. And if you're going to make changes and if you're going to move on from veterans, you do it when you get guys behind them that can kind of fill in slowly and have the training wheels taken off.
So you're looking at 6 guys that have been brought in for pre-draft workouts to this point, including today's monster workout that they did have. 6 of them of the 34 that we have and that we do know, they are lottery picks and projected lottery picks by a lot of outlets. Outside of that, you're looking at mid-first round picks just outside of the lottery have been Duke guard Jared McCain, Keyshawn George of Miami today, Kel'el Ware, the big man out of Indiana who played 1 year at Oregon, Zach Edey, who came in today from Purdue, Tyler Smith of the G League Ignite, who is a big, Yves Missy, who is a Baylor big, he came in today, Jalen Tyson, who is the wing out of Cal. Those are the projected first-round talents outside of those 6 guys that you listed as lottery picks that are 7 and 14 right there. We're starting to get a picture of what the Blazers are looking at in their pre-draft workouts and who the guys they wanted to get in early. Mm-hmm. There will be a flurry of them that come in late.
There's still going to be a couple more groups. There's probably going to be another group on Thursday. There's probably going to be 2 more groups next week.
If you are team anti-guard, hand up.
There you go.
Then what you are looking at is they're not looking that way, folks. No. Outside of the best shooter in this draft in Jared McCain, outside of that, they have not brought in another guard who's a projected first-round talent.
So
there we go.
That's where we stand now.
Spicy.
There could be another workout out there that I don't know about. And then there are ones on here that have not been publicly disclosed. So I've been chasing through agents and different contacts to find out who has or hasn't worked out or who has workouts scheduled, and I'll update this. The more I hear and the more I know.
Sales Joe Issy, he had this up right when you tweeted it out, and he pulled you over. He goes, "But why?" it's a lot of information on there, but it gives you a framing of where all of the outlets have these guys drafted in their mock drafts. Gives you an average of it, and it lets you know where Portland has prioritized their early workouts.
It's an easy way
this
to get a
point.
snapshot. I've done this for the last couple of years. I keep track of all the workouts. And the rankings are all when they come through. And so I do one later that has an adjusted one for the latest mocks and kind of compare and contrast where they were when they came through, because you don't see it's cut off here. I have all the different dates that they've come through. That way I can keep track of the ebb and flow of both the public and the private discourse.